For my career profile, I chose the job title of Certified Family Life Educator. This is a job description that you could apply for with just a bachelor's degree, and the purpose of the job is really to enrich the lives of individuals and families and help promote healthy, happy, reasonable standards, core ethics and values into family life that will help individuals and families to be the most successful as they possibly can, and hopefully to prevent future problems from ever occurring because there are established patterns such as parenting, patterns in marriage, communication, finances, early intervention programs, things of that nature. The work environment is relatively vast because it's very flexible and also very rigid depending on where you work. There are a wide variety of people who would be hiring a certified family life educator. Some of the places that I came across included venues such as community venues, religious venues, educational venues, consumer venues, government venues, research venues, healthcare venues. There are all sorts of businesses and workplaces that would require the assistance of somebody who has expertise in working with families, because a lot of families are involved in all of those different areas, and there are needs for those sorts of things. Within the work environment, because it's flexible, you might find yourself working at a high school, you might find yourself working at a community center, at a hospital, you might find yourself working in an office, you might find yourself working telecommuting, traveling, things of that nature, and also because of the variety of different occupations within the field or different circumstances within the field, you might also find yourself with varying hours. Maybe you'd have to work on Saturdays, Sundays, or evenings. Sometimes your hours would be flexible, sometimes they would be rigid. So a lot of work is done independently. You are probably not your own boss, but you are independent in that you are working one-on-one or by yourself with a family, so it's very important to have your skills in place and be able to be up to date. Some of the stressors that are associated with this particular job are the fact that it's very flexible in nature. So sometimes you might be working a lot of hours, sometimes you might not be working hours. It might be full-time, it might be on demand or on call, it might be weekend or evenings, which might make it difficult if you are maybe the homemaker of your family or if you're at home with children, working around their schedules and your own schedule at your home, and then also a work schedule might be a little bit challenging, especially if your husband is also working or out of the home. Also, one of the things that I found to be a great stressor in this environment was that you're promoting family life education, but you might also come into contact with a lot of abuse and violence and things of that nature that need to neglect, things that need to be addressed, and new patterns that need to be implemented. And that would be hard, I know, for me, and I think for a lot of people who have maybe a compassionate heart, or even people who are sensitive to those sorts of things. You would want to be able to learn really good coping patterns and skills to handle those types of circumstances. Also, it's really critical that there is no discrimination taking place, that you are not establishing your own set of values and belief systems, but rather establishing the values and belief systems that you are taught with a specific set of skills in mind in helping families and promoting realistic goals for them, and not the goals that you would have them create because you think that they are the best. So sometimes that can be a little bit hard on a personal level. The benefits again vary because there are for-profit organizations and nonprofit organizations. There are private practices, there are public practices, and there are so many different ranges. However, if you are with a reputable company, it is highly likely that you will have health benefits offered to you, and likely a retirement package as well, especially if you're working within the hospital, government, schools, those sorts of systems. It's very likely that you'll have those types of benefits available. There are many job tasks that are probably not described or listed here, but a few of the job tasks that would be included in this particular job would be establishing a curriculum and education to help patterns of healthy relationships, and also You might need to recruit members for your classes. Maybe you're the one who's going out and finding people so that you can educate them, or communicating and establishing relationships with businesses or schools or venues to be able to promote those things. You might need to be taking care of your financial records, or the financial records of the company or this particular program that you're a part of. You will definitely need to be keeping very good observational skills. You may also need to keep very accurate records and especially establish confidentiality. You will probably need to cultivate partnerships with people that you otherwise wouldn't, but that could be helpful in promoting this cause. Some of the educational requirements are that it's imperative that you have a degree in marriage and family. To be a certified family life education specialist, you need to have a specific set of education skills within the core curriculum that the NCFR has established. And so to be certified, you need to have that education underneath your belt. So the bachelor's degree is very much needed for this job. People are looking for that when they're looking to hire. It's one of the requirements that is listed as family studies, and also likely that they'll want you to at least have a provisional certification pending that you will pass the permanent certification after a few years of experience. It's also important that you have continuing education requirements completed as you gain experience. The salary is in the starting ranges of $21,000 to $34,000, but within 1 to 4 years experience, the average salary was increased to about $41,000 to $45,000, which was an average of about $17 to $21 an hour, which is fair, I think, for this type of work. Some of the other little tidbits of information that I found interesting were that this career is dominated by women. There are 94% of the employees in this field are women. And so there's a need for men in this field because men are as equally valuable in their work as women are, but it is generally dominated by women. However, that being said, most of the women who were polled had said that they were very satisfied with this job. I got a lot of information from the NCFR organization. They provide the standards for this particular job and certification, but there are also a lot of different places where I found information as far as being able to look through the state or the school colleges websites and job description postings to see really what was important. I also have a friend who I spoke with who worked closely with a family education specialist, except she was on the receiving end of the education, and she said that it was really critical that she learn some of these skills because they helped her manage some of the problems that she has had in her family, and also helped her to prevent future problems from happening, and that she would have never been able to utilize some of the skills that she was taught had she not been taught them. So I think that there's a great work to do in this field, and it's definitely promoting goodness, and I hope that we can all look forward to doing things just like that.